It turns out there's a practical limit to the rate of fire in a single-barreled weapon. The good news is, you can always add more. The minigun. A scaled-down rotary cannon capable of a terrifying level of output. So, what are the advantages of a multi-barreled design? How did miniguns become a staple of first-person shooters? And is it even possible to carry one? Multiple-barreled firearms have long been a solution to increasing rate of fire. Early volley guns peppered the battlefield with multiple shots, but each barrel still needed to be reloaded individually. Named for its inventor, the Gatling gun used a rotating array of barrels to automate the firing-reloading sequence through mechanical means. Operated with a hand crank, it provided an unprecedented level of sustained fire, with effective use by Union forces during the American Civil War. Such designs are generally misfire tolerant, as any cartridge that fails to fire will simply be extracted. One of the benefits of not relying on the cartridge to power the action. By the early 20th century, the now mature single-barreled machine guns were the predominant solution for sustained fire. But the principles behind Gatling's rotary cannon would prove the basis for a new generation of post-war designs. General Electric developed the M61 Vulcan rotary cannon in 1959 in an effort to provide more effective armament for jet-powered fighter aircraft. During the Vietnam War, a similar solution was sought for helicopter-mounted weapons, with conventional machine guns such as the M60 proving inadequate from the air. The 20mm Vulcan design was scaled down to fire a rifle cartridge instead, and this smaller design was dubbed the M134 minigun. Like its bigger brother, it has 6 barrels that rotate continuously during firing. This assists air cooling and allows the chambering, firing, extraction sequence to be performed simultaneously on different barrels. The net result? The M134 is capable of putting out between 2,000 to 6,000 rounds per minute without pause. That's up to 100 rounds per second, an incredible rate that will saturate a target area, even when firing from a fast-moving platform. Designed to be vehicle-mounted, it is commonly seen strapped to helicopters or Humvees in games, as it would be in real life. Here lies frequent use in the turret sequences so often seen in modern FPS. The cliché shooting gallery, with waves of enemies succumbing to your unending fire. While often on rails, such sections are at least exhilarating. They come as a climax, or mark a pivotal plot point by means of frantic action. Often emerging towards the ultimate chapters of a story, facing overwhelming odds, continuous fire can be your only saviour. Just hold the trigger and hope for the best. It is a shame to leave such an awesome weapon attached to its emplacement, however. And so, while unrealistic, the platform is often manhandled. 1987 film Predator is largely to blame for this. The 6 barrels are given significant screen time, furiously tearing through the jungle at some invisible threat. Terminator 2 saw similar treatment, albeit in a slightly more believable fashion, wielded by a future cyborg. So, is such use even possible? For all the firepower it offers, the minigun is a very compact weapon. At just over 800mm long, it's shorter than most rifles. Despite this, it's not particularly portable. It weighs in at 40 kilos, not including ammunition. The high rate of fire and full-powered rifle cartridge would make for some mean recoil too. And on top of all this, the weapon demands an external power supply. So man-portable use in any practical sense is impossible. Virtual depictions in games are not bound by reality, of course, and it should come as no surprise that such a memorable weapon had an impact on the earliest FPS games. The chain gun of Wolfenstein and Doom set a prototype for those that followed, and ensured that any future clone worth its salt would have a multi-barreled option. Technically, the in-game appellation is incorrect. Chain guns are a similar class of externally powered weapon, but they have only a single barrel, unlike the minigun's multiple. Still, these Gatling-style inclusions in early classics set a powerful precedent. The ability to wield such a potent weapon exhibits superhuman or heroic status, an extraordinary feat beyond any ordinary man. A signature for Serious Sam. Nothing puts more lead-down range than a minigun. With an endless belt, high rate of fire, and no need for precision, you can mow them all down without ever needing to reload. Similarly, the heavy weapons guy from Team Fortress 2 is clearly built for the job. Shooting many bullets is his raison d'etre. Some need external augmentation in order to employ the weapon. The XMGs from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare are dual-wielded, with the help of a powered exoskeleton. Not a standard weapon by any measure. It is sometimes reserved as a reward, delivered as a killstreak outside of a conventional weapon power band. Here, it can be as overpowered as it needs to be, although the weapon is often lumbered with at least some disadvantage. A heavy weapon will leave you less nimble. Movement speed is often slowed with a minigun equipped, rendering you more vulnerable to retaliation. Quite often, you'll need to spool up the barrels before you'll be able to fire, a pause that reduces reactivity and can potentially warn the enemy of your presence. The soft whir of the electric motor, a prelude to a cacophony of carnage. Chaos in a compact package, the very definition of a bullet hose. From classic FPS to modern military shooters, nothing delivers more. The antithesis of precision, a hammer to crack a nut. Completely unrealistic to wield solo, but it gets a pass by virtue of being absolutely awesome. The minigun. 6 barrels. Endless fire. Payback time. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.